When Brett Yormark was hired as the commissioner of the Big 12 Conference, he vowed to add more revenue to the league and to find new and innovative ways to do so. He continues to do that, and he continues to be the first commissioner, and the Big 12 continues to be the first conference to venture out into new avenues. What are these avenues? Well, first we had a league-wide pro day, which I'm going to talk about, but the biggest one I want to talk about is the Big 12 Conference could be the first conference to embrace sports betting. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Couz. Pull up that chair and let me serve you up this shot of top-shelf college football content. On tap in today's episode, we are talking about Brett Yormark. We're talking about his ability to make deals and his ability to find innovative and fresh ways to add revenue to this conference and to its members. We've seen him bring Shaquille O'Neal in to the Big 12 basketball tournament as a DJ to bring in more fans. We've seen him partner with streetwear companies, clothing companies like A Bathing Ape. We've seen him bring in famous superstars to sing national anthems. We've seen him be innovative in how he handles the seating at the Big 12 tournament, which, by the way, did not make members of the media happy. We've seen him now cut a deal with the NFL to do a league-wide pro day, which I'll speak on in a minute. And in most recently, in a very recent article, he's now looking at potentially making a deal, a data rights agreement that could potentially involve sports betting companies. And I'll touch on that in a minute. But first, I want to talk about the league-wide pro day. Now, many of you probably already know about this. It came out about a week ago. The article I'm going to share with you comes from Deadspin. And here's what the article states. Big 12 schools to hold conference-wide pro day in 2024. The Big 12 and the NFL will debut the Big 12 Pro Day in 2024, which will assemble the pro hopefuls in one spot for, quote, state-of-the-art medical and player skill assessments, end quote. The conference and NFL announced the event in a news release issued Wednesday, which was last Wednesday, and I'm recording this on March 22nd. The inaugural event will be held next spring at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. It will replace the individual on-campus pro days and will include a job fair and non-football career networking opportunities for Big 12 student athletes, per the release. What's cool about that is even these student athletes that may not get drafted or may not get signed as undrafted free agents, this is going to help them. This non-football career networking will help them move on and have successful careers after their playing days are over if they don't make it into the NFL. So they can achieve their dreams that they might have outside of football. I think that's a great idea. And if you're a parent and you're being recruited by a Big 12 school and you know this is offered, I think it's a great recruiting tool. Let's continue with the article. It will be closed to the public, though the public may attend the adjacent Big 12 Fan Fest and watch NFL Network's coverage from outside the facility. And here's Commissioner Brett Yormark's statements about this partnership. And I quote, the first of its kind Big 12 Pro Day will provide our student athletes an opportunity to showcase their talent and skill as they turn their NFL dreams into reality. Through this partnership with the NFL, Big 12 student athletes will receive national media exposure across NFL Network and NFL media platforms. We are thrilled to partner with the NFL to host this pro day, and we look forward to creating a special experience for our student athletes, end quote. I think this is a genius idea, and I can't believe that the SEC or the Big Ten or someone else hasn't come up with this, to be honest with you. But leave it up to somebody like Brett Yormark to come up with this idea. This is good on many levels. Number one, I mentioned recruiting. Yes, you get to do the non-football career networking opportunities. Think about this. If you're a Big 12 school and you're recruiting against non-Big 12 schools, you can use this as a recruiting tool. You can say, hey, we're holding our pro day on the NFL Network. Or even if you're trying to get a guy out of the transfer portal, hey, you want to work out in front of NFL scouts at our pro day? Well, now you get to do it on the NFL Network in Frisco, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys practice. I mean, think about being a young man and you get to do your pro day where the Dallas Cowboys practice. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And another advantage, the NFL scouts, and I heard this on another podcast. I would love to give them credit, but I cannot remember which one I heard it on. But the advantage would also be these NFL scouts don't have to make all these different trips to all these different campuses, which is probably hard to do, and it's very highly likely that they're not able to make every trip. If you're a scout for a team, you may not be able to get out to see everybody. This is going to make it easier because they're all going to be in one location. You can go to one location, see every potential NFL player work out in one day in one location. You don't have to go to Morgantown, West Virginia. Then the next day you might have to go to Manhattan, Kansas. Then the next day you might have to go to, Dallas. Then, 3 days later you might have to travel to Iowa, to Ames, Iowa. I mean, think about it. Cut out all the traveling. A lot of expenses are cut out, and it's just going to make it easier. And oh, by the way, it doesn't hurt. Like I mentioned earlier, the exposure from being on the NFL Network. That's not only great for the players, but it's great for the conference, folks. How great is it for the Big 12? They're going to be promoted by the NFL Network. NFL, the most watched professional sports league in the United States, the NFL, is going to be promoting this event. It's going to be on their network, on their social media platforms, and the Big 12, as of now anyway, will be the only conference doing this. And there's always an advantage to being first. You're blazing a trail. You're going to be known for the one breaking the ice and getting this done. And it doesn't hurt to have a really strong relationship with the NFL, right? Definitely can't hurt the conference. Now, on with the sports betting thing. What this is all about, the Big 12 is in the process of finalizing its first ever revenue-producing data rights deal. Now, the information that I'm showing you right now comes from an article in the Sports Business Journal. The article is behind a paywall. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. I think it does give you 1 or 2 free articles if you want to check it out. But instead of sharing the whole article with you, I'm simply sharing a few bullet points from the article, the main points. Number 1 being the front runner of this deal is IMG Arena, who just so happens to be owned by Endeavor, who the Big 12 partnered with on their media rights deal. Now, IMG Arena just so happens to be the data distribution partner for Major League Soccer and the PGA Tour. Now, if you're like me and you had no idea what a data rights deal was, this next bullet will help you just like it did me. A data rights partner or a data rights distributor manages and distributes official stats to media and fan sites. So, for example, the Big 12 would sell the stats and data from games, essentially, to IMG Arena, who would in turn sell it to media and fan sites. Okay? Now, here's the key part to this, in my opinion. And that's the third bullet down. Sports betting services are believed to be part of the negotiations. If that happens, this article says it would drastically increase the value of this deal because we all know what kind of money can be made from sports betting. It's massive. It's a huge industry. And if that happens, it would be the first data rights deal in major college athletics that included sports betting services. Right now, there are only 2 conferences that have data rights deals. They are the Pac-12 and the Mid-American Conference, but neither of those include sports betting services. So the Big 12 could once again be the first conference to venture into the sports betting game by nailing this deal and including sports betting services as part of it. Also, the final piece to this, the final bullet that I thought was important, is a decision is likely to be made or is expected to be made within the next 2 to 3 weeks on this. And obviously, it would have to be approved. Any deal would have to be approved by the Pac-12 Board of Governors, which includes school presidents. In my opinion, this would be a home run if Brett Yormark is able to get this deal done, because any way and anything you can do to bring more revenue to the conference is a good thing for the league and for its member institutions. So I'm all for this. I know sports betting is a huge risk, but it's going to happen eventually. It's eventually going to be part of it because there's so much money to be made with it. Why not be the first to do it and take the risk and take the gamble? Pun intended. Let me know, Couz's Corner family, what you think about this. What do you think about the All League Pro Day and also this sports betting deal? Would you like to see sports betting services be a part of this data rights agreement, or do you think it's too risky and it opens up Pandora's box to too much risk and potential shady and illegal activities that could potentially get players and coaches and whatnot in trouble? To me, it's a risk-reward thing. I'm sure there might be some people once in a while that will venture outside of what's legal and do the wrong thing. But you know what? Sports betting's been around a long time, and it seems like the good has outweighed the bad, in my opinion. So why not do it, make revenue off of it? And if you're one of those people that are against gambling, you don't have to participate. That's how I see it. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. If you want to support my channel financially here and help me put money back into my show, there's several different ways you can do it. You can check out the links in my description box to my merch store. You can check out the links to the Fanatic store to do your online Fanatic shopping. If you use that link, I'll make a small commission from the sale, and you don't have to buy the product shown, by the way. All that does is get you into the site. You can make a one-time donation with the Heart Thanks option right below. You can join Couz's Corner, become a member of my channel, take advantage of the perks there. I'll be having a special giveaway and contest once I hit 5,000 subscribers coming up. I'll be announcing that soon. I've also had other contests in the past. I've given away gift cards, money, that kind of thing by doing raffles for members. But you've got to be a member to take part of that. There's members-only live streams occasionally. There's, sometimes I'll give members early access to videos. I'll do shout-outs to members occasionally, those types of things. Right now, I want to give a special shout-out to one of my channel members, Big Dan T and David Cummings, two of my Mountaineer Maniac level members. Shout out to you, gentlemen, and thank you for your continued support. Also, Blue Hawk 71, want to give a shout-out to him as well. He's another Mountaineer Maniac level member. Last but not least, if you want to support my channel, absolutely free. There's 4 ways you can do it. You can like this video by hitting the thumbs up button. You can share this out with your college sports loving friends. You can drop that comment below. And lastly, you can subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 5,000. That's my next big goal, was 5,000. And like I said, I do have a special giveaway planned to celebrate hitting 5,000 subs. But I've got to get there first, and I need your help to do it. With that being said, I really appreciate your support. Any support you give me, whether it's financially or just for watching this video and for liking it. And until the next episode, Q Country Roads.